We're gonna start.
Start what?
Start recording.
I'm eating bread.
We gotta go now.
Now?
Yeah, now.
Okay. Hi everyone, welcome to Live Interactive English. I'm Mike.
I'm Kim.
I'm hungry.
You can't throw that away.
Why not? I got a film and it's kind of old and it's not really fresh.
You can't waste bread.
Yeah, well, whatever. Huh? Whoa! That was bread.
And now it's beer.
What's going on?
You're about to find out.
Okay.
People have come up with several other ways to reduce bread waste. For example, Toast Ale is an award-winning craft beer that is brewed with surplus bread. Although it is relatively uncommon, bread has been used to brew beer for almost 6,000 years. The company says that one slice of bread can be turned into a pint of beer. Toast Ale is being produced in the UK, US, Brazil, Iceland, and South Africa. Profits go to groups that want to end food waste in several countries.
All right, so the title of the article, like yesterday, is Baking and Brewing to Fight Food Waste. Now, yesterday we covered the baking, right? The crumbler turns the old bread into flour, and then they bake it into new bread. But today, we're going to be doing the brewing part. So let's get to the article and find out what they are brewing and if they're using old bread to do it. It says, people have come up with several other ways to reduce bread waste. For example, Toast Ale is an award-winning craft beer that is brewed with surplus bread.
That's a brilliant way to get rid of some bread.
Very interesting. Now, Toast Ale, because there's capitals there, that's the name of this product, right? So it's made from toast or old cooked bread, and ale is kind of another word for a type of beer.
Yeah, so it's literally bread alcohol.
That's right, and it must be good because it said it's an award-winning beer.
That's right. If something has won awards, it means it has won a prize, maybe first place or second place, third place. You have won an award for doing something really great.
Yeah.
For example, the director's movie won numerous awards at the film festival. So yeah, if your movie is really good, a lot of people like it, you're going to win a lot of awards. And this ale itself must be really delicious because it has won awards.
That's amazing. So yeah, they give out awards in all sorts of areas of life, including making beer. Now back to the article. Although it's relatively uncommon, bread has been used to brew beer for almost 6,000 years. To actually use the bread to make the beer is kind of an ancient but also a very modern way of doing it. And using old bread that would normally be in the garbage, that's a very smart way of doing it.
That is very good. Now, the company says that one slice of bread can be turned into a pint of beer.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, so one old piece of bread, you can use this process and turn it into 1 pint of beer. And if you ever go to a traditional English pub or somewhere like that, they'll give you a large glass about that size, and that is a measurement of liquid, a pint. This is kind of an older way to measure liquid. It's kind of a standard size. For us, mostly it would be easier to understand as 473 milliliters. So about half a liter. But if you go into a pub, you wouldn't say, could I have 473 milliliters of beer, please? No, you would go in and say, can I have a pint? And you would get that glass with that amount of beer. For example, excuse me, how much for a pint of beer? How much is a pint of beer these days?
I have no idea.
2-3 pounds in the UK? I don't know. It's been too long.
Well,
back to the article. Toast Ale is being produced in the UK, US, Brazil, Iceland, and South Africa. Wow.
It's a random group of countries.
They're making this all over the place, but I guess it makes sense because all of those places and many more have beer that people, bread, I should say, that people would throw away. And here's another great thing about Toast Ale. Profits go to groups that want to end food waste in several countries. So the company is actually giving some of their money away to charities to help deal with food waste in other parts of the world.
That's a very good use of their profits.
Good for them.
Now, profits are the money that you make from a company. If you sell something, then that money that you make back from selling that thing would be your profit. The company's profits are down from last quarter. So last quarter they didn't do so well. The money they made is kind of going down.
Oh, that's too bad. They got to work harder or come up with a better product like toast ale. All right, guys, we're going to take a break and then we'll be back with more brilliant ideas for bad bread.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。我们今天要继续来看看还有哪些方法可以减少面包浪费。首先呢，课文介绍了一款啤酒，叫做 Toast Ale 吐司麦芽啤酒。那它是用剩余的面包酿制的得奖精酿啤酒哦。好，那么 award 就是奖项，那复合形容词 award winning 就可以用来描述它是得奖的。那话说回来 ，Toast Ale 这个名字呢很有趣哦。Ale Ale 它就是表达麦芽啤酒、艾尔啤酒。那么 Toast 它可以指烤面包，它也有敬酒、干杯的意思。所以搞不好它就是故意用双关语义来点出这款酒是用面包酿制而成的。好，那这间公司呢，它表示说，一片面包他们就可以把它变成1品托的啤酒。那目前吐司麦芽啤酒有在英国、美国、巴西、冰岛还有南非来制造，它的收益也有捐给一些想要终止食物浪费的团体。Kim 老师说，这些国家好像没有特别的共通点，听起来好像就是随机的几个国家。老师这时候用到 random 这个字 ，R-A-N-D-O-M，random 就是形容随机的、任意的。那么课文单字 pint 就是品托，我们常常在这个酒吧里面啊，就是一品托就差不多就是473毫升。Mike 老师这时候他用到 milliliter 这个字就是毫升，我们常常把它简称为 ml， 对不对？算数学的时候就会这样简写。那我们拼一下哦 ，M-I-L-L-I-L-I-T-E-R milliliter 毫升。下一个单字是 profit 它表示利润、收益。好，那这个段落有一个文法重点，那我们进入文法时间。大家好，我是文法界的女神 Fashion Fanny。Hanny 她去买口罩了，好，不管她。我们这边来看一个文法重点是 has been 加上过去分词 PP， 这个是现在完成式的被动语态。那么现在完成式我们常常会跟 for 或是 since 一起连用哦。那我们来看一下句型，第一个句型就是主词 has been PP 加上 for 再加一段时间。第二句型是主词 has been PP 加上 since 再加上过去时间点。我们来造2个例句。The man has been detained by the police for 20 hours. 那名男子啊，他被警方已经拘留了20个小时嘞。好，再一个造句哦。The event has been held every year since 2007. 那个活动啊，从2007年开始，每年都举办。好，那我们这边的文法就先讲到这里，那记得赶快看课文哦。
In the Netherlands, companies in several cities have put out containers to collect unused bread. The bread that is collected is turned into natural gas or fertilizer. This practice reduces food waste and also cuts off a food source for rats, which are a problem in some areas. There is still much to be done to address the problem of food waste. However, creative solutions like the crumbler and toast ale can go a long way toward making our planet a better place to live.
Okay, so turning bread into beer or old toast into toast ale.
It's a good idea.
It is a very good idea. And that's, of course, what one company has been doing in a few parts of the world. Now let's jump to another part of the world and get back to the article. In the Netherlands, it says, companies in several cities have put out containers to collect unused bread. Okay, this is kind of like a garbage can, or maybe those containers where you can put your old clothes, right? They have them in most neighborhoods, but this one isn't for garbage or old clothes. It's for unused bread. And what do they do with that unused or unwanted or slightly old bread? It says the bread that is collected is turned into natural gas or fertilizer.
Wow.
You can turn bread into natural gas, like you burn in your stove or something?
I guess you can, or it can become fertilizer, which is what you put on plants to help them grow.
Plant food.
I guess that makes sense because you can put old food on there and maybe it would feed the plants as well, but natural gas, wow.
Yeah, weird. Okay.
Well, this practice reduces food waste and also cuts off a food source for rats, which are a problem in some areas.
That is a good idea. Having all that food in your garbage might bring rats. If you can cut it down, that will help everyone except the rats.
Well, the rats are out of luck.
That's true. They have other options. Anyways, this is definitely a natural thing. If we're making natural gas or we're turning things from something into another thing using something that comes from nature, we would describe that as being natural. That's all it is. It's the adjective that means something from nature. If it's made in a factory, if it's plastic or something like that, it's not natural. If it's a tree, if it grows, if Mother Nature creates it, everything from the weather to plants to animals that come from nature, these are all natural. And we often think of natural things as being healthier.
Yes, better for you.
Not always. Snake bites are natural too, but that's
no good.
Not healthy. But yes, generally, especially when we're talking about the environment and pollution, natural is better than the opposite, artificial, which would be kind of man-made or something like that. For example, Cindy opened the curtains to let more natural light into the room. Natural light comes from the sun, of course. Artificial light comes from electricity.
And more sunlight is good for you, good for the plants, good for everyone. There is still much to be done to address the problem of food waste.
There's a lot of food waste.
However, creative solutions like the crumbler and toast ale can go a long way toward making our planet a better place to live. This is very important, this kind of green revolution.
Sure.
That everyone's trying to do these natural solutions to make the planet more healthy.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can save money, we can reduce the amount of waste and garbage, and also, I don't know, I would feel better. Instead of throwing that slightly old bread in the garbage, I would feel better if I knew it could be turned into something useful.
Definitely. I would use those bins to put in my old bread if they existed here.
For sure.
I think that's a good idea. It's a very creative solution.
It is, yeah.
Now, creative is something that comes from your imagination, and these things are usually quite different than normal. Things that are very creative, like painting, music is creative, something that comes from your imagination. For example, Albert has a very creative mind, so he doesn't think of normal things. Maybe he thinks outside the box, we would say. He has a different way of thinking about things, and he comes up with some interesting ideas.
Yeah, very unique, very unusual, you know, kind of special, showing a different type of thinking. So here's our what do you think question. What do you think? Would you be willing to eat bread that is made with the crumbler?
Remember I love the name, the crumbler.
Yeah, it's a good name. Remember from day one, that machine that takes the old bread, turns it into flour, and then you make new bread out of it. I guess some people would say, oh, I'm eating old bread, but I don't know.
See, I'm okay with eating bread made with the crumbler because it's just bread.
Basically.
It's what's weird about it. It's just bread.
Right. And they've done a few things to it. Of course, I think I would have to taste it first.
Yes, give it a taste.
Good.
See if it's good or not. But I think there's nothing wrong with it, really.
That's right. I would have no problem doing that. So what about you guys? Would you eat bread made from the crumbler? Would you want to throw your bread into a container that helps to create natural gas? Have a chat about that. Try not to waste your food. Do eat your bread as long as it's fresh. And we'll see you back here very, very soon. Until then, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
好，课文接着提到，荷兰几个城市里的公司把容器拿到外面来收集没有使用的面包，那么收集的面包会被转变成天然气或者是肥料， 而这样的做法不但减少了食物浪费，也切断了老鼠的食物来源。毕竟老鼠在某些地区也是个问题嘛。好，那看了这2天的课文，虽然前面提到那些创意解决方法不能解决所有问题，但至少会大有帮助。希望各地的人们能够持续来发挥他们的创意，来帮忙减少食物浪费，减少环境代价。我们最后来看单字 natural，natural 它是形容天然的、非人造的。那么 Mike 老师说的 artificial 则是形容人工的、人造的，它是拼作 artificial，artificial。再来看 creative，creative 它是形容富有创造力的、有创意的。Kim 老师在解释时，他用到一个片语叫做 think outside the box， 字面意思是在箱子的外面思考。那这里的 box 其实是用来表达局限思考范围的框架。那么 think outside the box 就类似中文说的跳脱窠臼、跳脱框架来思考。好，那这个段落呢有2个文法重点哦，那我们就进入文法时间。哈哈，又是我 Fashion Fanny。那我们来看我们下一个文法重点是 cut off， 它是指切断、中断，像是中断这个供给啊、电力等等。举例来说 ，Their water supply was suddenly cut off last night。他们昨天晚上啊突然停水，这个供水突然中断了。好，第2个重点是 go a long way， 它表示大有帮助。那么后面可以接 toward 或是 towards， 加上动词 ing 来表达对什么是发挥作用，对什么很有帮助，有助于达成某事物。举例来说 ，Your generous donations will go a long way towards helping children in need。您的慷慨捐赠将会对那些需要帮助的孩子大有帮助的，所以要多多捐款哦。好，那么以上是今天文法重点喽，那我们记得下次见喽，拜拜。
People have come up with several other ways to reduce bread waste. For example, Toast Ale is an award-winning craft beer that is brewed with surplus bread. Although it is relatively uncommon, bread has been used to brew beer for almost 6,000 years. The company says that 1 slice of bread can be turned into a pint of beer. Toast Ale is being produced in the UK, US, Brazil, Iceland, and South Africa. Profits go to groups that want to end food waste in several countries. In the Netherlands, companies in several cities have put out containers to collect unused bread. The bread that is collected is turned into natural gas or fertilizer. This practice reduces food waste and also cuts off a food source for rats, which are a problem in some areas. There is still much to be done to address the problem of food waste. However, creative solutions like the crumbler and Toast Ale can go a long way toward making our planet a better place to live.
Steven, where are we?
Anna, you don't have to worry. You like to shop, right?
I do.
Then this is the perfect place for you. See, this whole area is known as Zhonghua Shopping District.
What exactly can we do here?
Well, starting from A Zone, Hualien Cultural and Creative Industries Park, if you keep going down Zhonghua Road, there are many shops along the way. Also restaurants that serve local Taiwanese foods. There's also an old bookstore and massage parlors.
Sounds amazing. I'm ready to spend all my money.
Hey, not at one place. You better pace yourself. I mean it. Don't spend all your money.
Zhonghua Road in Hualien is a popular shopping district that many tourists want to stop by. Here, you can read the guide map to know where to buy and where to eat near Zhonghua Road. You will also find many authentic snacks and unique stores. Look at those pineapple cakes at Pineapple Bay, also called Fengli Wan in Chinese. It's a world-famous pastry shop. In this shop, their pineapple cakes are all handmade. See the great fillings? Don't you want to take a bite of those pineapple cakes? Amis Mochi is a mochi shop. It sells various flavors of mochi such as red beans, sesame, peanuts, and so on. Let me tell you one secret. The mochi in this shop is a combination of Amis' traditional snack called dulun and modern baking techniques. Are you curious about what the mochi will taste like? Bubble Ice Store sells shaved ice with various sweet toppings. It's time to show our good taste buds. If you want to buy another souvenir, Guo Rongshi handmade smoked ham is your best choice too. Zhenxing Tea Store sells tea leaves. In the store, you can see many traditional devices such as china teapots and tea leaves scales. You must also visit 5 Bar Caramel Heart Tapioca and order their heart tapioca shaved ice. The flavors of their tapioca balls have fruit, matcha, taro, brown sugar, red beans, and so on. Don't worry about eating ice on a chilly day. The store also sells hot and warm sweet soup. In addition to eating and drinking, there is an old bookstore on Guangfu Street near Zhonghua Road. Once you get into the bookstore, you will find yourself surrounded by a retro atmosphere. Here, you can find varieties of second-hand books. Are you a hipster, or do you like to immerse yourself in books? If so, don't ignore this place.
About to explode. Oh, so what did you think about Zhonghua Shopping District?
I loved it. There's so many cool and interesting places to see and things to buy.
You did say you were tired, right?
Yes.
Remember those massage places I mentioned earlier?
Yes.
And did you blow all your money already?
I think I know where you're headed with this.
Well, do you want to get a massage?
Yes, please.
Let's do it. Massage time.
See you next time.